shout out to a specific person on my channel that just announced that he switched from F to H. There are ways you can find out if you're having pure H. Yeah, there might be cutting agents if they're not other opiates like fentanyl, or benzos. You can test yourself, get blood work, whatever. There's ways to test it. I'm not gonna test him, but he switched from F to H and is now going on to buprenorphine. That's why I call this Black Book advice. I have one person now. Obviously, I'm not him, him or her, but I'm assuming it's a guy. And you know, that's why I say this is called, it's considered Black Book advice because people are going to disagree with it. They're going to say, why switch from one to another? I mean, why switch from fentanyl to buprenorphine or methadone or heroin to methadone or oxycodone or methadone? It's all about the crash. If you don't crash, your recovery will not be that bad. The harder the crash, the bigger the trauma. The bigger the trauma, the harder the recovery. The harder the recovery, the more risk of relapse, the more treatments you got to go to, the more meetings, the more this, the more that. But if you don't crash at all, like if you go to a hospital, like I said, for an accident, and you leave that hospital, if you especially have the right doctors, but most of them, they know what to do. And you leave and, you might have had fun in the hospital, but you could say, it was fun, but I'm not doing it again. A lot of people are like, they do that, you know what I mean? And that's the purpose of my channel, guys. I wasn't going to make a video tonight, but I just read these comments and I'm like, there you go. I'm not condoning anything specifically, but realistically, I mean, guys, if you're out there risking fentanyl and you can find something safer to switch over to minimize the crash, then your recovery won't be that bad. I've had many times, like I said, I've had to come off my fentanyl because my dealer was going to be out for 2-3 weeks, a month. And I had to have what I had, the batch I had, and I had to taper off using that same batch of fentanyl. And I tapered off and got off of it. Or I got Roxicets, real ones, 30 milligrams, 3-4 times a day. Did that for 3-4 days, switched to buprenorphine. Some doctors might do that for you. Um, you know, I've done it all. That's why I know this stuff, because there's been so many out of all the years I was using. Hello, I've had to think of something, so I'm proud of you. You know who you are. Keep it up. Get on the buprenorphine. Nowadays, we have that luxury to get Sublocade, Brixadi, any shot form. Hopefully, you find a prescribing, you find a prescribing physician that will help you out. Get state insurance, whatever you have to do, pay for it, whatever the hell, and then a lot of people. I know people personally that have got the shot, and after 2 years or so, they got off, and one had absolutely no withdrawal symptoms, totally forgot about everything, and had no crash. The other she said there was too much sleeping, and it was great, amazing, good sleep, but a lot of it, and that's a fucking blessing to a lot of us recovering opiate addicts, like recovering or still in active use. Sleep is what we want, right, guys? So there's always a way out. That's my point. That's why I call it Black Book advice. People might disagree. I quite frankly don't give a fuck. If you're going to risk your life and use fentanyl, why not go the lesser route, to lesser, to minimize the crash? That's the point, guys. And one of my viewers just commented, made my night. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. You're doing great. You know who you are. Good night. Thank you also for proving my point.